Hello, friends. This is episode 19.
Hi, I'm Debbie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Ronnie.
And I'm Lisa McIntyre. Welcome to Working Wonders. This week, we are going to be discussing our accountability from the vision boards that we did at the beginning of the year. But first, I would like to apologize.
I can't stop laughing.
There was a little bit of a mix-up in the beginning, and we had a false start, which had me then starting again and broadcasting it live in my own personal Facebook newsfeed. So
We were talking to Lisa's friend.
yeah,
Your mom.
and everybody got to say hi to my mom. And
Right.
now we're back in the Float the Convention page.
So if you're one of Lisa's friends, you got a teaser.
There you go. I'll be removing that promptly. But we're going to start tonight with Debbie. She's going to give us a little something about Peggy here.
Okay, so I was telling everybody that I got a very nice message from Peggy Williams, who, if you remember, a few weeks ago when we were doing our March Women Month, Women of the Month. We're a little giddy here because of this
National
whole event.
Women's Month.
And anyway, I talked about
Or
Peggy Williams as
international.
being an inspiration to me, and she sent me such a nice message today on Facebook. And for those of you who were wondering, inquiring minds want to know, she is not the Ringling Brothers clown, Peggy Williams, but she did start her career as a clown called Looney Balloony. And I would share the pictures with you, but as all of you know, I am share screen challenged. So you'll just have to trust me that they were very, very cute pictures of her as a clown, and she's really very cute, and it was very sweet, and I appreciated her thank you. And I really love Peggy. She's just the best. She's a great educator. I won't go into it all again because that would be boring. Anyway, we said this week we were going to talk about our vision boards, and for some reason I volunteered to go first. So I will have Lisa share my vision board because, as you all know, can't do it. So good it wasn't on my vision board because I still don't have it down pat.
We'll put that for next year.
Next year's vision
Next
board,
year.
share screen.
Next
Baby
year.
steps, baby steps. There you go.
Anyway, all right. So if you remember, this is my vision board. So we'll start in the top left-hand corner, which is create a marketing plan and stick to it. We're doing 17 hats. We finally sat down and got the first step done, but it's like climbing a mountain, and I feel like I'm not even at the first bivouac camp. So, but we're getting there, and I feel like I'm making a little progress. I'm still pretty scared of my dreams. I don't know if they're big enough, but they're really scary. So whatever. Lose 10 pounds. Only if I take my shoes off before I get on the scale, and I have to be wearing hiking boots. But we're working on it, but the scale is refusing to cooperate, but we're working on it. Build something. I'm gonna have to look at what I wrote. Build something I've never built before. We actually did. I did not build an elephant sucking helium out of a tank, but I did finally get a chance to do one of those big hoops, with the organic over it. And I talk a lot with my hands, which should probably be on my vision board for next year. But I have, I finally got to build one of those with a name across it, and it was a big success, and I was very excited about it.
It was beautiful.
Thank you so much. Listen better, maybe. Be less, I just had my hearing tested, so maybe I'm listening better. Be less judgmental. Trying, maybe a little bit, but it's really I think for everybody that's actually like a daily struggle, not to be judgmental, not with your customers, not with your spouse, not with your children, not with your friends, not with everybody. So I'm working on it. I can say that. Be more spiritual. Yeah, I don't think I have to bore you with the things I'm doing, but I am taking a few steps to sort of work on my inner Debbie and work on being more of the person I want to be, which is what I consider spiritual. In other words, it doesn't necessarily have to do with religion. It has to do with building yourself to be a better person, to me. Again, everybody's definition of spiritual could be different, but that's my definition. And I'm working very hard on becoming a better me. Stop working for my business and have my business work for me. We're probably still both working pretty hard. And, I'm working, the business is working. Thank God somebody's working, trying to put into place things where we don't have to work quite so hard. But when you're trying to still grow your business, I think you're always going to be working for your business. So that spend more time with family. Well, we just got over almost 2 weeks of Passover, and I have spent a lot of time with my family. And though my children didn't come to me, I went to visit my kids, and it was really very nice, even though it sounds like a lot of time to spend with your kids, a couple days at a time. But it was really nice. I always say when my kids come, I said, I'm so happy when you come. And then after they leave, I say to my husband, I'm so happy when they leave. But, it's because I love them, and they've started to, I don't know, whatever. In any case, I have spent more time with my family. Learn Canva. The truth is, I've sort of knocked that off my vision board because I don't know if it's quite as important as I originally thought it was. It's not something I'm focusing on now. I will be working on it probably a little again, but the things that I sort of need to know, I think that I already do, and I just don't use it that much. I'm not a flyer person. We actually bought flyer templates, and I think that's really actually what we're working on in conjunction with 17 Hats. So it's not as important a goal as I sort of thought it was. Maybe should have been like a real little one in the corner. Travel somewhere I've never been. Now, has anybody been doing any traveling? I went to a couple stores I've never been to before, but I don't know if that counts. So, travel. I was in a city I've never been to deliver balloons, but travel is going to have to wait until we're not COVID. Though I just heard yesterday we got an email from my son-in-law in Israel that they've supposedly opened the airport, but you need to prove that you have a blood relative there. You need to be COVID tested. You need your vaccination papers. You need a permit. So I don't know if we're really going to be going anytime real soon, but that's somewhere I've been, so it doesn't even count on my vision board. But I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking about it, but so far no travel. So I don't know, on this whole vision board, maybe a 50. But I think in 4 months, that's a pretty good score.
That's pretty good for 4 months.
I'm working on it. It's a year plan.
Yeah.
So,
do you have a
maybe
plan
by next time my business will be working for me, or I will have lost those 10 pounds. Or I'll learn how to share my screen all by myself.
You have to add it to your vision board just so
by our next update. I'm going to share my own screen. I'm going to practice.
You need to have you guys ever made a list for yourself and then you accomplish a task that you didn't write on the list? So you write it on your list and cross
Absolutely.
it off. Every time.
Yep. It counts.
All the time.
For sure.
All the time.
It counts.
I want to have as many things checked off on that list as I can. So, I'll have a whole list, and I've done 2 of them, and then one of them led to something that wasn't on the list. But absolutely, you write that down.
Right. You write it on and then you cross it right off.
Cross it out.
That's right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because also, if you don't add the stuff to the list, then you look at your list and you're going, why didn't I get more stuff done? And then you're like, because there's these other things. Yeah.
I don't know if getting out of bed in the morning can be on your list.
Can I put
shower?
Getting up before
shower.
noon?
Not shower either.
You could put making your bed on your list, and that requires you to get out of bed, so that kind of works.
Turn off alarm.
I'm still in the stage of life of 2 young kids, so some days a shower should definitely be something that gets added and crossed off the list. Like, if you get to shower before 2 p.m., that is an accomplishment for the day.
Put that on your vision board.
Right. Shower.
Debbie, do you have an idea of where you want to go whenever you can travel?
You know what? There's like so many places. Europe is basically closed. There's a lot of places I'd like to go and I'm afraid to go to, which is really kind of silly. Australia is nice. I could visit Matt, but it's a little far.
That's definitely on my bucket
Hawaii
list.
is supposed to be beautiful, but also it's a little far. You know what? The truth is, I'm like really, I think, a homebody in a lot of ways. So even though I want to go somewhere I've never been before, in a lot of ways, I'm happy to go to places that I've been before and I like. So,
Right.
I don't know. I've been to Chicago, but I'm going to go there. So, shameless.
Are you flying? Are you flying to Chicago?
Yeah. We don't. Judy and I work well. I don't know if we could do so well in a 10-hour drive.
Oh, that's right. You're driving with somebody else. It's still fun. Matt Russell wants you to come see him.
Well, he was the one I mentioned, so maybe.
Oh yeah, he says come see me. So I wonder if that's an open invitation to all of us.
Yeah.
And he is making a very valid point. I was thinking of that too. Hawaii is actually on the way to Australia.
I know, so I could kill 2 birds with one stone.
Yeah, and you could actually do like fly into LA and spend some time there, and then go to Hawaii, spend some time there, and then go to Australia.
And then go to Israel, go back the other way and go to Israel and then go home. The only thing is then I would definitely have my business working for me and not me working.
Well, that's a good goal to have too.
That's like a 4-week trip.
You would actually go around the world, Debbie Levy. That'd be pretty neat.
Around the world in 8 minutes.
Suzette Arita says, come to Hawaii. If you remember, she's our Hawaiian wonder
I remember.
there.
See, now I have friends all over the world to visit.
I know.
I could really go almost anywhere. I don't know how much fun Teddy would have with all that, but you know.
And Matt Lewis has chimed in. He says that we make Thursday Thursday morning so enjoyable because Matt's over in the UK.
He's probably drinking coffee just like me.
Right. We're drinking coffee.
Probably not Dunkin' Donuts. Do they have Dunkin' Donuts in England?
Matt's going to have to answer that one.
Yeah.
I'm
not sure they do. Yeah.
Do they have Dunkin' and Starbucks there?
Matt, you got to let us know.
I would be willing to bet that there's for sure a Starbucks there. Maybe
in England,
Dunkin'. Yes, there's Starbucks everywhere. They're like,
all right, who's going to now fess up on your vision board after me? Come on.
Matt's only response so far has been Guinness, and then he said, "Yep." Yep, spelled YEPH. So maybe he is drinking Guinness this morning. We'll see.
Hey, is there Guinness in his coffee? I can go next. Let's see.
Okay, I shouldn't have to be the only one who.
Let me see. Okay, is it the opposite way?
Can you flip it?
You're good.
It's good?
Yeah.
It's good.
See, you know how to share your screen.
Yeah, except for it's upside down for me. So.
Well, you're sideways.
Oh, am I? Okay, hold on.
Now you're right up.
Okay.
There we go. That's better.
2021. Let me see. Okay, so the balance table on the left-hand side, the work and family. I have definitely done a really good job at that. Recently, within the past few weeks, I've really set some pretty solid parameters around my schedule and really making a conscious effort to stick to them. I have actually just set up 2 days of childcare for my kids in the summer on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because those are typically my busiest days for the business. So that will relieve a tremendous amount of mommy guilt for those of you that are moms of little ones. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So it actually works out perfectly because it's a brother and sister. The brother is the same exact age as Lucas. The sister is the same age as Grace. So they're going to go there. They're going to go there for 6 to 7 hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They literally live right across the street. Well, it's a couple blocks over from us. So that will be really nice. And then I'm going to bounce down to the building of a team, because these two are really, relative to each other. I have hired 2 people. I'm so unbelievably excited. I have hired a girl to come in and do admin work. She is going to be here with me in the shop for 1 day a week. And then she's going to be remote 2 days a week, answering messages, taking care of social media stuff for me. I have hired basically a part-time assistant on Wednesdays and Fridays. She is going to come, she'll help me prep what I need to. And then she's also going to take the deliveries on Wednesdays and Fridays. So I'm hoping, with the business being closed on Mondays, I'm going to have all day on Mondays with my kids. I'm going to set up like a 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. work day on Wednesday and Friday. And then hopefully have all afternoon with my kids, because we surprised our kids. And the Easter Bunny is bringing a swimming pool that is going to be installed on May 24th. So I really want to be able to enjoy my kids this summer.
Very nice.
So
good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My office helper, I haven't exactly figured out what I'm going to make her title, but the girl who's coming to do the admin stuff, she's starting next Tuesday. And then the assistant / delivery person is going to be starting on Wednesday. So super excited about that. My team is growing. I'm very excited about both of them. We had a very, very crazy weekend, and they were like the silver lining. I kept thinking, like, why is God doing this to me? Why is God doing this to me? And in a moment of desperation, I posted on our local Facebook pages that I was in desperate need of delivery drivers. And these 4 people responded to me, and these 2 girls were 2 of the 4. And just, I knew, like, let me see what they have going on. So the one girl is a mom. She has a special needs little boy, and she also has a 7-month-old daughter. So I said, what are you doing for work? And she goes, I've been trying and looking and looking. And she said, but I really can only work like 10 or 15 hours a week, and nobody just wants to hire me for that little bit of time. Right. And I thought, I want to hire you for that little bit.
It's perfect.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on. So I'm working really hard in the balancing. I know that there's still going to be, trials and tribulations that come with that. But for right now, I think that we have a pretty good plan put in place. I don't want to say it's solid yet, because we know that, things can change at the drop of a hat in this industry. But for as of right now, we have a good plan put in place, and I am working toward building my team. Good things take time. I've definitely come to realize that. I think that we all want to be the best. I'm a very competitive person. I was an athlete. I was raised doing sports. So that's just in my nature, that I want to come out of the gate swinging. And one thing that I really love about this industry, it is a very humbling industry where you really have to take the time to learn your craft, and you really have to take the time to hone in on your skills and perfect them. We all, like Debbie said, we would all love to build floating elephants and, all these beautiful, gorgeous things, but, baby steps. So I understand that, one day I'll get there. How do you define success? This has been something that I think out of everything on this board, I can check off. I have become very comfortable with my company. I've become very comfortable with pricing. I've become very comfortable with our policies, regardless of, what anyone else is doing. Like, this is what works for us. This is what works for our market. This is what's allowing us to continue to grow and thrive. And I feel very confident in being able to say that to somebody now. Whereas before I was like, oh, like this person's doing it this way, maybe I should try it that way. I really feel like we figured it out. What works for us, what we're going to do going forward, how we're going to do price increases. We've gotten our delivery schedule down pat. We've gotten our delivery fees, our rush fees, all of those kind of things figured out. So very comfortable with that. This is what's making LGM successful. To anyone else that does anything differently, you do you, boo. You can't pour from an empty cup. I would say as of right now, my cup is pretty empty after this weekend. So
take a big sip of that Dunkin' Donuts.
Right. We can talk more about why my cup is empty after we all share our vision boards, but that is definitely something I'm still struggling with. I allow myself to be stretched thin, and I never want to say no. So that's definitely something that I need to continue to work on.
That's probably the hardest thing as women business owners.
Yeah.
Saying no, because at the same time, you don't like to say no to your kids either, which sometimes
Right.
you might have to. And I think that's, that work family balance that's on your thing is you have to know who to say no to.
Right.
Which is, sorry.
Yeah. That was, I really failed at that one this week. The whole work-life balance, I failed at it all this weekend. So we took some time, reconvened, and put some things into place. So consistency is key, huge. We just downloaded HoneyBooks. So that is going to help us with responding to messages in an orderly fashion. You know, I think that's the bane of all of our existence is responding to messages. I don't know. I think that it is. For me, it's the most tedious part of the business. But I have also been utilizing the Facebook Business Suite to schedule posts so that we continuously have posts going out. And I'm telling you guys, if you are not doing that, I can literally see as soon as I start posting stuff and there's consistent posts going out, my phone is ringing. Contacts, or not my phone is ringing, but contacts forms are being filled out. Customers are reaching out to us. So I know I can see it. That consistency is key. You always have to be staying top of mind. The fitness, let's just forget about that altogether because
you are running yourself ragged right now. So
not in a good way though. So no, I'm feeling miserably.
Spinning around in circles. So
I started the year off really well.
You did start off.
I was like running for 45 minutes a day. Yeah, I have not been on the treadmill in probably over a month. I'm not even gonna lie. It's been bad. But I have been outside a lot. I've been playing with my kids outside a lot and jumping on the trampoline, which is real fun.
That's fun exercise.
That's exercise.
Yeah.
It is fun exercise. It's a little bit tricky to jump on a trampoline after you had 2 children, but it's I have to take some breaks sometimes.
I sympathize. Yeah.
Chasing them around the house also counts.
Right, exactly. But yeah, so we've been having fun with that. But like actual, like meaningful, like calculated exercise, no, I have not been doing that. New skills and training, definitely have been doing that. Been doing a lot of that. I just caught up on the Q Corner convention. And I was like going along. Steve Jones, I am so unbelievably thankful to him. He sent me a wonderful DVD. Help, I'm allergic to twisting. I sat there and I watched the whole thing first without even touching a balloon. And then I went back and was twisting with him and then rewinding and twisting and correcting and all sorts of things. So that has been a lot of fun. I never wanted anything to do with twisting. And I think because it was really intimidating to me, and now it's fun. Like it's kind of brought back joy to me, and like it's brought back joy to doing balloons for me.
Are you making stuff for your kids?
Yeah, like making stuff for my kids. My daughter just asked me to make her a monkey, and I followed this video on YouTube and I was able to do it, and he lasted, and they were really cute. So yeah, been excited about that. Money, yeah, it's going out just as fast as it's coming in. So we'll reconvene with that in a few months.
I'm pretty sure that Easter Bunny did not pay for that swimming pool by himself. Right. So, you know.
Well, actually, I think the Easter Bunny did.
I think
How many bunnies did you do? You know, so
93.
So yeah, I think maybe the Easter Bunny actually did pay for that pool.
Yeah, 93. It was something. Traveling, I have to whisper. My husband turns 40 in September, so I am looking to take him somewhere. I think we're gonna go to the Florida Keys.
Nice.
So. And donate. We do a really great job with that. I've actually reached out to another foundation because we currently help Bare Necessities Pediatric Cancer Foundation that we donate. I sponsor 2 kids. LGM solely sponsors 2 kids a year. Meaning when I mean sponsor, we do their birthdays for them. Every single year we do huge yard art setups for them. We also donate a stuffed balloon for them that I go and get like candy and toys and stuff like that.
Wow, that's special.
Very sweet. I actually just got in touch with a home that I never knew about, which I'm amazed about this. That's about 20 minutes away from my house. And they are a foster care facility that they keep brothers and sisters together. So if there's, and even if they're 18 years old, like they come and they stay with their brothers and sisters. So, and they help, you know, they not only keep these kids together, they're able to live in a house together. So on their property, they have like 12 like multi-family homes.
Oh, wow.
And the siblings live together in one home. There's not a bunch of kids living in one home. And then they have a foster parent who lives with them full time. They all have their own rooms. They have their own beds. Like, it's a really wonderful foundation. So we're excited to partner with them. And we have some cool things that we're going to do for them in the future. I think that's it, right? So I would give myself, just along with Debbie, I would give myself like a 50.
But we're not even halfway through the year yet. So.
Right. Yeah. I'm going to stop screen sharing this now. Sorry. Yeah, I'd give myself like a 50. I've done better at some things than I have with other things, but I'm really looking forward. I think that the things that we're putting in place going forward is going to make a huge difference. So yeah.
Good for you.
That's
so awesome. We've got a few comments. Matt Russell chimed in whenever Debbie was talking about how, you know, as business owners, you know, women often struggle with that work-life balance that Stephanie was talking about. And he says it's not, let me just read what he said. I don't think it's just for women.
He's right.
I have that issue as well, Debbie.
It's not just for women. Yeah.
I apologize.
It's true.
It's
the
for
boys are getting very sensitive. Can we just talk about something for a second? The float men are getting very sensitive these days.
It's because we've done so much nurturing.
Right. I think we're gonna have to have a special episode where we recognize all of our boys and we give them all pats on the head and we tell them how much we love them. They're all getting they're getting a little sensitive these days.
He happens to be right, but I think
he does. I'm just teasing. He absolutely is right.
And I think the work-life balance is like I said, for any business owner, but I think there is a certain something for women because of most women and some men have that nature of wanting to be pleasers. Right. And I think men in general, it's not as big a trait as it is in women, though there are men who are that way and there are women who aren't that way. But I think that's why I think we're sort of trained from birth to, you know, try and be pleasers. And I think that's why it's a bigger struggle. But Matt, I acknowledge your struggle and we're there with you. Okay, is that better?
We feel your pain, buddy.
And
is that better?
Other Matt says that, and Matt, let me go back again. Matt Russell is commenting again, and he says that in the balloon industry, men are the minority.
Oh, stop it.
It's true.
Doesn't mean you're sensitive.
And Matt Lewis, going back to whenever we were asking whether or not he had Starbucks or Dunkin', he would let us know that he says, we're not in the bloody Stone Age, you know. And anybody else hear that in his voice? He says, we've got all the modern conveniences, internet, gas, electric, running water, Starbucks.
I didn't say downnuts. He didn't have.
You have running water?
Running Starbucks or Dunkin'.
I'm sorry, he didn't say that the water was heated. So, I mean, you know.
Right. There's just room for improvement.
I just
plumbing either.
Matt Lewis, I just listened to your and Stuart's flotation device episode on my way to my delivery this morning, and it was hysterical.
Well, Matt's very funny. He usually is.
Yeah, it was funny.
By the way, I just realized I would like to go to Panama. I'd like to see the Panama Canal.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
that's a good one.
You know, not that I wasn't paying attention, Stephanie, but that like popped into my head.
Sure,
I
you
would
were.
like to go to the Panama Canal.
Tell me what I said.
Anywhere near Australia or Hawaii. I'm really sorry, folks. It's going to be a while.
So, quiz. When does my assistant start?
Anybody? Matt
no
Lewis,
one was listening to me.
I did. Somebody starts on Tuesday.
Yes.
I don't remember which one. Somebody starts on Tuesday. I heard that. Okay.
Right.
And Matt Lewis says, yes, it's heated. And Matt Russell says that the pain is strong today. So I advise everybody to go on over to the comments section and give him a little care emoji so that way he can feel a little love.
Battle of the Mats.
Right? Yes,
Right.
the Matt and Matt are being very active in the chat today. So, Ronnie, did you want to go next, or you want me to take it?
I can go next. Yeah, I'll go next. Okay. So let's look at this epic fail board.
Oh.
Alrighty. So,
Oh, and if I could interject real quick, Dory
okay.
would like Stephanie to know that she was listening.
Oh, thanks, Dory.
All right, Ronnie?
So, one of the things that I did actually do with my vision board pretty much almost immediately after we got off of the call is I added, so this is my original vision board. I made it my backdrop to my computer so that way I can constantly be looking at it and have no excuse not to have this like on my mind. But I did add be prepared, because that is something that I realized that I was lacking on. And of course, it had to be Scar because, you know, Disney. But
Do you mean be prepared in business? Be prepared for what
everything.
life throws
Be
you?
prepared. So it's one of my favorite villain songs, Be Prepared, because he's basically like, be prepared for what's about to happen. Be prepared for like anything that you didn't know, like what you know is coming, what you don't know is coming, what you didn't expect. And I mean, I was a Girl Scout, and just like the Boy Scouts, the motto is the same. It's always be prepared. So, you know, it's like that's been ingrained in me for years. So the fact that I lack at it in any way, shape, or form is just inexcusable. So I put it on there. And I have actually been a lot better about that. The one thing that I cannot ever seem to be prepared for is other people. And so that is something that I have to be better at, because I don't know, it's become something very apparent in the last 3 weeks that I'm like, I was not prepared for people. just leave it at that. As far as the photography goes, I read the handbook for my camera.
Yay!
I haven't picked up the camera.
You know that when all else fails, read the instructions, you know.
But I did actually read the instruction book. Like I knew exactly where it was, and I did read the instruction book, because that's something that I don't ever do. And I'm like, well, how am I going to get better at photography if I don't know some of the settings and things like that?
That's good.
As far as wanting to get back into baking as a hobby, I have not done that yet.
Have you eaten more cake though?
I have eaten so much.
I would give you a check mark on that one. It just has cake. It doesn't say baked cake. It just says if you've eaten cake more than you did last year, then
I have eaten so many donuts lately. So like,
well, there's no donuts on there, so I don't know if they count.
So here's what's funny is that, like, you know, like I've got my little shorts on there, and I definitely want to at some point this year be able to fit into them and feel comfortable in them. And last year, 2021 or 2020, when everybody was talking about like, oh, the COVID-15, you know, like gaining weight, I was very proud of myself because I didn't gain any weight. I didn't lose any weight, but I didn't gain any weight. And then this year, it's like, as soon as this year hit, it's like all bets are off. I've gained like 15 pounds. It's like,
I would welcome the COVID-15. I gained like the COVID-40. So I was COVID-15.
Yeah, I was so worried about gaining weight that I was very cautious about everything that I was eating and doing, and like making sure to be, you know, like get up and walk around and do things like that. And it's like, as soon as this year hit, I'm like, I don't care. Like everyone's
no,
like,
and you had cake on your vision board. How can you lose weight if there's cake on your vision board?
Because I want to make them for other people. I don't want to make them for myself.
No, I would see that and I just eat it. So,
but here's what's happening. Everybody's getting vaccinated, and even before everybody was getting vaccinated, people were like, we're having a small gathering. Like, we're having like 6 people over to the house, come over. And there's so much junk food there. It's like donuts and cupcakes and cakes, and it's like a celebration just to go over and like, you know, play Cards Against Humanity with like 3 other people. And it's like a whole party spread. And it's just like, oh gosh, I have to like be very careful about, and now that everybody's getting vaccinated, it's like, oh, the parties are starting. And it's like, no, stop feeding me. like please stop feeding me, because I won't stop eating, because I miss food. So
Especially
I went to
party
an affair.
food.
I miss
I love
that
it.
smorgasbord food. That's all stuff that you
Yes.
don't usually let yourself eat, and you don't usually make for yourself. You know, the
Mhm.
fried stuff and the dip stuff and the gooey stuff. So,
Party food is the
and I
best.
missed
it's
it. And I
so
went to just before the ceremony. I went to like the little reception. I said,
Mhm.
"Oh, I missed this so much."
Do you know what
I
I
kept my
love now?
mask on. I went in the corner, took my
the
mask off, ate it.
oh yeah. And that's like it's so funny because like we'll like all like gather our little plates and then like scatter to like different sides of the room so we can all eat.
Right.
And it's like you have that one person that's like, I'm fully vaccinated, so I can stand close to people while they're eating. And I'm like, I'm not
Right.
fully vaccinated yet. I only have one shot. Don't stand close to me while I eat. And really it's just because I'm shoving a third cupcake into my mouth and I don't want people to judge.
Yeah, no witnesses.
Yeah.
You're like you're like
oh,
pulling your mask off and like
Yeah,
stuffing
like-
it in your mask.
Oh, if you have those masks that are
Oh, yeah.
like the N95s that have like the
Right.
point, you could just put certainly a muffin
Right,
in
you can
there.
just put one in there and just like take little bites
Just
out of it.
chomp
No
on
one
it
will
while
ever
nobody's
notice.
looking.
So the
A little
mask
feeding
that I
trough.
make, I figured out that I could put Skittles in it. I poured Skittles into my basket. I was eating like a feed
Is
bag.
that funnel?
It was terrible.
So Deborah Schneerson says that she feels you, Debbie. And Matt Lewis says that he's lost weight. Guinness is part of his 5 a day.
Oh
Love
my
it.
gosh.
It's full
I've
of
also
nutrition.
actually lost weight.
Guinness actually has like any like if you aren't, not that I'm telling people to go out and start drinking, but I remember one of the things that I had heard when I was a bartender was that if you drink a Guinness, it helps with your like get all of the vitamins that you need. And I'm like, I don't know if that's true or not, but if you're telling me that I need to drink
You
a Guinness
heard
That
that
would be
in
catch
a
a
bar,
cold,
right, Ronnie?
I'm gonna
No,
like,
she's
no, I didn't hear.
true.
It was outside of a bar, but
Oh,
anytime somebody would come in and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm not feeling good," I'm like, "Here, have a Guinness."
I've heard people refer to it as mother's milk. Like they say that it has like it's exactly like what you're talking about. I don't know.
Yeah, it
I
has,
hope
like-
that that's
like-
not
like-
weird. But
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up one of these
several
days.
people refer to it as that, and they say like it's
Mhm.
like the ultimate hangover cure. It has like I don't know, maybe because it's so dark. I have no idea,
it's
but
like a
I've heard a lot
meal,
of people
like-
already say that.
Yeah, like I can't drink a Guinness and have like a full meal. Like I'll have a Guinness and like a side salad and I'm full.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
crazy. Yeah.
Tell us
Okay,
about
so
your big old pile of money.
Guinness diet.
There are some
The-
good health benefits to it. Matt Lewis would definitely like us to know that it is full of iron. So that's good.
Oh,
That's good.
It'll
Yeah, that's good
keep
for
you from getting anemia, I guess.
there you go.
So my big pile of money is it's not a big pile of money yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, but I'm working on it. I am working on it. And of course, just making car payments on time every month. It was obviously last year it was a struggle. And so far, knock on wood, this year it has not been a struggle. We're all caught up with that, and I'm very excited about that. And as far as all of the social medias, I'm really excited that all of the buttons or little logos that I put on my vision board, I do at least have something going on each of them.
Wow.
The Pinterest adventure is so weird, and I feel like I just need to sit down one day and just like pin a whole bunch of stuff and just like upload a bunch of things. But I'm afraid to do that. I want to spread it out because I don't want it to just be like, oh, this person pinned like all of these in one day. Like it should be like over the course of a week, I think.
Right.
So we'll see about that. LinkedIn is fun. I hate
Not.
LinkedIn.
Not.
I hate
LinkedIn
it.
is not fun.
But I will say that I did get I created, so I was on LinkedIn for when I was twisting balloons, so as Vegas balloon twister. And so I was like, okay, well that's, I dropped the twister and now it's just Vegas balloon. So I created a whole new profile and just basically started over from the beginning. And I already got 3 inquiries. And I just did that
Nice.
like
Very
2 weeks
nice.
ago. So doing something right there. And they might not lead anywhere, but at least it's some kind of communication there. And there's a good chance like I don't know. There's so many people on there in the industry and out of the industry. And so we'll see how that goes. Like I said, it's really just my first week on LinkedIn. And I have videos that are gearing up to go on YouTube, but I have to wait a couple of more weeks before I can put anything out, because some of the stuff that I have involves other people and they have to post theirs first.
Okay.
So then once they post their videos, then I can post my videos.
Nice.
So I wish I hadn't made that deal. I wish it would have just been like, Pooper, get off the pot and let me post my
Right.
content. Like, I would just like to post this content.
Are you tweeting?
I have the tweets. I don't use it, but it's there. I still don't get it. I just don't get it. Like I said, I used to use it to, I'd say something funny and I'd be like, oh, that's funny. Everybody needs to read that. And I would tweet it. But I do have, I do find myself going through and reading other people's tweets. But then I look at them and I'm like, this isn't as interesting as TikTok's. And then I end up back on TikTok.
Okay.
I do end up back on TikTok.
A black hole of TikTok.
It really is. It's so funny. And then my 2021, which is for the balloon deliveries, which I want to focus just as much as those as on the decor. And that's actually going really well. And I'm really excited to hopefully try to launch some new ideas and format things a little bit differently to make it so that people can order things easier without as many questions. And I have a good idea as far as the business and which direction I want to take it, as far as making it convenient for clients. Because, like I've been saying, but after last year, everybody's so used to this click and pay mentality. So I really want to capitalize on that. It's going to make it easier for me in the long run. It's going to make it more convenient for the clients. But I definitely know that anything over a certain price point, I'm going to have to get involved and I'm going to have to talk directly to people. So it's kind of figuring out, okay, what actually is that price point? Because I know what I have it at now, and I do still have to do a little bit of hands-on with it when people order those things. But for the most part, they're very self-explanatory. I have the one, my favorite thing on there is the bride balloon, where it's just bride and Mylars with the ring on the corner. Right. And I've sold like 3 of those. And what I love about it is people see it and then they contact me. They're like, hi, I'm going to be ordering this. Can I change the colors? And I say, yes. Just put it in the notes when you order. And, they say what color they want the Mylars. I only have the option in 2 colors. That's it. And then they can tell me what their specific colors are in the note section. And that's just like, I love that. I love it. It is a pain in the butt to deliver because it does have to be delivered in pieces. But luckily, everybody that's had them, they understand that it's not just something that I can drop off. And so it's only, I don't like having it on there because it's technically not a deliverable. But it only takes me 5 minutes to piece everything together, make sure everything's in place, put it in place, take my picture and go. So I think that I'm qualifying things that take less than 10 minutes as delivery status. And then we are starting the conversation of, okay, do we want to start doing, because Stephanie, when you were talking about how you have a certain radius that you go to with your deliveries, and then anything over that is or customed, or they get charged for deliveries and things like that. And so we're starting to have the conversation of, do we want to have some kind of a, over 20 miles, say, and that really covers a lot of area in Vegas.
Yeah, it does.
And it's like, because today, I went to my favorite bakery, which is 28 miles away. That extra 8 miles takes an extra 15 to 20 minutes sometimes.
Right.
So
in each direction.
Yeah. So it's, it's things like that where I'm looking like, oh, okay. And we did, I did change the website so that people can't order deliveries at 7 a.m. anymore. So,
yeah.
Because I never thought that somebody would want a delivery at 7 a.m., but they did.
Oh my God.
So
actually, it's 7 a.m., Ronnie.
They all want them at 7 a.m. Everybody wants them at 7 a.m.
Now the earliest is 9 a.m. and the latest is, I think I put it as 3 p.m. because I don't want to be stuck in 5 o'clock traffic, especially with it getting hotter now. I just don't want to be in my car during that afternoon. I feel like it's hotter when the sun starts going down here than it is at like 11 o'clock in the morning. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's my vision board thus far, and
Good
that's
job,
it.
Bonnie.
Yeah, thank you. It's fun.
Okay, Lisa, your
It
moment
is.
of
It is.
truth has arrived.
You guys
She's
keep.
taking a big
Sorry, I
gulp.
had you muted. So you guys didn't hear me clacking on the key.
You're muted again.
You're muted.
Apparently, if I
There you
push the enter button, it is going to mute me. Here we go. Matt Lewis is still regaling us with the health benefits of Guinness during that. I do believe he was listening to you, though, Ronnie, because there was a big gap there. He says that a good night out is 12 pints and a curry.
Oh,
Whoa.
That's what
I
I
can do
thought,
2
too.
pints. That's it. I can't keep up with you, Matt.
Yeah, that,
Right.
like I'm hoping that that's like a really long, like 10-hour long night.
are you going to be carrying us home? Like, you're going to be like throwing
I
us over your
agree.
shoulder and carrying us
Or
home?
will he be rolling himself home?
Yeah, I hope the UK has Uber.
Right.
And he says that Guinness in Dublin is amazing but expensive. It's about $18 a pint.
Wow.
Wow.
That's an
My
expensive
goodness.
bar tab if you're drinking 12 of them.
Yeah, I thought $9 was a lot.
And especially when you're treating all of us, you know. So
Yeah.
Debbie found the loophole.
I want to personally see if it really is beneficial to my health.
Right.
You want to test it out firsthand?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and start. Here is my vision board. As many of you probably don't know, I actually contracted COVID pneumonia this year. So I'm going to play my COVID card right now. And I'm gonna double up with the pneumonia part. And there's been a lot going on for me personally this year, which has kind of like put a kibosh on some of this.
Did you drink more water? That's what I want to know.
Yes, I have.
Big check mark. You drank more water.
Goes with me everywhere. Right. I'm attempting to drink at least 3 of these a day. It's 32 ounces. Sometimes I don't drink that much. Sometimes I'm drinking herbal tea, or I've got my seltzer. If you guys have paid attention in any of the episodes, you know that I have,
multiple drinks.
I have to. I'm constantly with the fluid, so I'm being a good girl there. The yoga, I have not been doing proper yoga, but I have been doing lots of stretches. I've really noticed a lot of help in my back with that. Which has been really good, especially recently I've been doing some work. So, and I have been reading more books. I haven't finished one yet, but I've started multiple.
Hey, that counts.
It does. A lot of them are more in the self-helpy kind of thing. And then a lot of them are just straight up brain candy. Where it's just
it doesn't say what kind of books, it just says read more books.
It's just time away from a screen and time with me. And I have started to learn how to knit. I haven't actually made anything yet. I just work something up and then I frog it and then work it up again and frog it. I'm trying to get my tension down. I still wish that those needles had hooks on the end. I'm used to crocheting. I have been cooking a lot more. That whole upper corner there is cooking more for the family. And using my Instant Pot and air fryer, which I haven't been so much using the Instant Pot and air fryer as much as I had hoped to be at this stage. But again, reminding everybody I played my COVID card. So I want to get a pass on that. But I have been cooking a lot more lately, which has made me happy. It makes me feel like I'm, taking care of my family better. So whenever it comes to like that whole declutter and garage clean out stuff, no, none of that. We're not there at all yet. I pulled some balloons and some foils for
that's okay. It's spring, so now.
And it's like that's all. No, I have been doing when it comes to decluttering though. I started probably about a month and a half or so ago when I was starting to come out of like there was a lot of fatigue with the COVID
fog.
It was bad. And I was beating myself up a little bit too much over, all the things that I needed to get done. And I decided that I was going to do one chore a day. And that has really been very, very helpful. And I realized early on that chore cannot be laundry and it cannot be dishes. That doesn't count as my chore, because I will spend my entire, energy, my little energy pocket that I have in the day doing the laundry or doing the dishes, and nothing else actually gets done. And if it's one thing that I think every adult appreciates, is that the laundry and the dishes are never actually done. They're never, ever done.
Right.
And
Amen,
so
sister.
if I have, 3-hour energy boost, it's better for me to clean out my fridge and clean my fridge entirely, put everything back, and, throw anything old. It's better for me to pull everything out of my medicine cabinet and throw away anything old and put back only with the spice cabinet, do all my baseboards, clean windows. It's better for me to do those chores that always get pushed to the side, because the dishes and the laundry will always be there. And
somebody can always wash a dish to eat something, and they can always pull a clean pair of socks
Right.
out of the laundry bin.
Right. Well, there's 5 of us, and 2 of us have moved out. My 2 older children have moved out, and so we've got dishes for days. That pile can get quite big, and it'll be fine. But you know what? I've got my refrigerator clean. I've got this done. I've been really good about that one chore a day, and I tend to focus on something that I really don't want to do, or something I've been putting off and putting off and putting off. And so that's been actually really quite helpful. And even if I don't have a lot of time today to do something, or a lot of motivation to do something, I still really do have quite the feeling of accomplishment. To the point that I just spent 2 weeks in Texas working for the Balloon Collective. And while I was there, I felt compelled, I'm still on my streak, and to find something that needed tidying or whatnot. Now, mind you, I'm staying with friends, so it was I wasn't overstepping my welcome there, whenever I tidied something up or whatnot. It was just kind of it's a way for me to help them out, but also I kind of was antsy in the pantsy to do something. And they let me cook for them a couple times, which is actually kind of nice too. So as it comes to the little kid with the little kid with the chore chart in the bottom, we haven't quite got my son up and running with that yet. There's a new balance of distribution of responsibilities in the house, with the oldest 2 having moved out. And I'm going to, again, play my COVID card, and I'm going to double up that Owen also had COVID too. So poor kid, I wasn't about to start assigning him chores while he's hacking with a cough and can barely keep his eyes open, because he also had the fatigue thing going on. But then again, he's a young teenager, so sleeping is kind of what they do anyway. It was really hard to tell when he was better.
Second nature, right?
And I have been working really, really hard on my rebranding. I still haven't decided on a name yet. I've got big plans though for whenever that happens. Everything that I keep finding going, I look for the .com and it's either already taken or they want $6,000 for it, and that is not happening. So
Right.
There's it seems like there's a few websites out there that did things like bought up a bunch of .coms, and so I might have to do something which I really didn't want to do, which is make up a name where it's just a mashup of something, so that way it's a weird spelling might increase the chance I'm going to find a .com out there. And I keep remembering Ronnie's advice from last episode about how it needs to be a short enough handle for Twitter. Right. Even though I don't twit, so
tweet.
And
you may be a twit, but no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. I just couldn't resist.
And so that's mine. Largely haven't done too much. Oh, I did stilt walking. I've practiced that a little bit.
Ooh,
and I'm just as unsteady as I was a year ago. I've got some really good advice on some exercises I can do to increase my quick twitch reflexes, because my balance is just garbage. But that's it. That's all I got for you guys. I'm gonna,
that's pretty good.
I think you're doing good.
Yeah,
you're doing good.
I think so.
You know,
Every time we
we're really
every
only
time we
4
stop
months.
the screen share, my thing goes wonky.
We're
So-
really only 4 months into the year, so I think we've all made a very noble attempt, I think, at getting things started.
So I want to let you guys know what happened in the comments. Matt Lewis wants to know what the treating thing you were talking about was, Debbie.
What treat? What?
You
Oh,
said
He's gonna treat us. He's gonna buy us all Guinnesses.
You're gonna buy us all
Yeah.
Guinnesses when we get to
Right.
Chicago.
And Nate
What was
Culpepper.
unclear about that, Matt?
And Nate Culpepper, I name dropped Balloon Collective. Nate Culpepper says that's us. And
That's us.
in case you didn't piece it together, he and Stacy were also the ones that were helping me with my my stilt walking as well.
I was going to say, I can imagine
figured.
he owns a pair of stilts, right?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
Oh,
not
he
surprising.
and Stacy both do. And it was just, then I took a seat and they both of them are up walking around in the kitchen on stilts. It was highly entertaining.
That's
Highly
hysterical.
entertaining. Get it?
Highly entertaining, right?
And so Melissa, I'm not sure. Oh, she must be talking to me. I thought she was talking to Stephanie. Or sorry, Ronnie. She says also, if you can get all of your handles the same across all social media platforms. I think she was listening to Ronnie last week.
There you go.
Yeah,
I had some good advice.
Ronnie,
You did.
there was a lot of good feedback about your episode last week, about your information last week. A lot of good feedback.
I also have a mini update, by the way. If you don't check your emails for Facebook is getting rid of analytics. And so I assume that what they are doing is that they are trying to make anybody who has not downloaded or started using Business Suites.
Business Suite. I was like, wait, what?
No, so what they're
gonna
doing
do?
is they're getting rid of analytics, okay? But if you have Business Suites, it's your insights. So I think that they're just compartmentalizing everything and making it so that you have to utilize Business Suite in order to get those numbers. So if you're not familiarizing yourself with Business Suite and you're just looking at your analytics, that is going to be going away. We can thank my husband Dave for checking his emails because I never read those emails.
Hey, thanks, Dave. I hate emails.
But yeah,
they're the bane of my existence.
I think that they're trying to go the way of Messenger. So if you remember when you used to be able to look at your messages and everything without having to open up a second app, but now it's its own app. I think they're doing the same thing with Business Suite. So make sure that you are familiarizing yourself with that and seeing where your analytics are falling, because the analytics are going away on Facebook.
And in the chat, I want to make sure Stephanie knew that Matt Russell apparently was taking notes, and he says that you've got one person starting on Tuesday, Office Girl, and a delivery driver starts on Wednesday. And
good job, Matt.
And he heard me say treating, so he's obviously
Right.
No, different Matt. That was
different
Matt Russell.
Oh, other Matt.
Not the
Matt
English
Lewis
one.
Yeah, Matt Lewis is treating us to beer.
Right.
I was listening too. While I was listening, Panama popped into my head. I'm sorry.
I like how Matt Lewis is now, his name is the English one on Tuesday. So it really makes me laugh. Like every time I see it, it really makes me laugh.
And
Stephanie, you have our wonder of the week, right?
Let me finish with the comments real quick if I could. Melissa Vinson says that she didn't get to hear last week's episode, but I guess great minds think alike, LOL. In reference to Ronnie.
Yes.
And Sherry Rankin wants to know, do you have to switch to Business Suite?
Yeah.
It's not really a switch.
It's not a switch, it's just a download, right?
Yeah.
It's just an app, but if you are interested in keeping up with your analytics, then yes, you will have to start using Business Suite. And they're also pushing it so that you have to make all of your posts using Business Suite too. I went to go post something on using the Facebook app, and it was like, oh, hey, by the way, you should be doing this in Business Suite.
If you're not using Facebook Business Suite, you are missing out on many, many valuable tools that they're providing you for free for your business. Yeah. So the question if you have to, no, you don't.
Not yet, but they are. It seems to me like Facebook is trying to push it towards where you will start having to use
Right.
it. Again, look at the business suite itself and, read up on it. When you click on it, I think it's like, what is it? The website for it? Like, it's like Facebook Business Suite dot something.
If you go to your business page,
I think it's
it'll
just
tell you
facebook.com/business
download
suite.
business
Yeah.
suite.
Yeah. And it gives you everything on it. Like it's basically just another app that you have to have on your phone, as far as on the phone, but using it on my desktop, I'm really loving being able to see all of my insights and all of my posts. And if you're like me and you don't feel like answering Instagram messages at 3 a.m. because for some reason people think that you're going to be answering messages there, Business Suite has where you can turn on an away message and it sends people an away message automatically to
On
your
Instagram?
to your Facebook Messenger and your Instagram Messenger to let people know that you will get back to them. You can personalize the message and you just click
Wow.
it and it operates. It's up there for 12 hours. So I click it at 9 o'clock and it automatically shuts off.
Because we
at
have an
9
Instagram
a.m.
message, but you can't automate it. I didn't know you could automate it from Facebook.
You can automate it now if
What
you
a
do it
cool
through the
trick.
Business Suite. Yep, I just learned about that.
Sherry says she's going to set it up right now. And Dory Saypool said that the English one also cracked her up. And
I'm getting bombed here. I'm sorry.
That's okay. And Matt Lewis says Matt UK Sparkles.
Sparkle.
So he's changing his name again there.
All right. Well, I have a little girl who's asking for a brownie. So let's get to the wonder. She goes, Mom, can you?
Ronnie wants a brownie too, actually.
Me too. Send me a brownie.
She just is whispering. She's like, Mom, we call my son Bubba. She's like, can you please say to Bubba, Bubba, get your sister a brownie?
Oh.
So, okay. So I will. 1 second. Okay. Okay. So I am going to recognize the wonder of the week. We have been eagerly waiting to be able to recognize this person on our show. She does many things that are recognizable worthy, if that makes sense. And I just realized that I'm totally going to butcher her last name, so I'm not going to say it. I'll let someone else say it. But we are recognizing Flavia as our.
I don't think there is any other Flavia. So.
I know. I'm like, everyone knows her. She's kind of like Madonna or like Cher. She's just Flavia. So we are recognizing Flavia this week as our working wonder. Flavia closed out her stuffed Easter Bunny promotion at 75, which is huge because Flavia is a first-time stuffer. Like, she just got her stuffer. I want to say that she got it for Pop Drops and New Year's Eve. So she's just like a couple of months in. And Flavia, as we all know, does very, very big installs and builds and things like that. So for her to be able to tap into this market and produce a huge number on really her first stuffing event, I thought was incredible. So Flavia, congratulations.
Yay, Flavia.
Yay.
I want to just tell you what's coming up on the Float Network now. I'm not
Stephanie's
frozen, am I?
You're not frozen. I think Stephanie's.
Only Stephanie is. Oh, there she came.
There she is.
Just in time. Anyhow, the Jeff Kelly replay is available for those who were signed up for the Jeff Kelly class. You got an email about it. We are coming up to Vinyl is Vital with the Lamperts, and the deadline to register for that is April 18th, and the class is going to be on April 20th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, what's coming up, the biggest thing is 1 Million Bubbles, which is going to be the weekend of the 24th, 25th. In the email that you got about 1 Million Bubbles today, it tells you all the rules that you're not supposed to monetize it. And it's really just a feel-good thing. It's supposed to make, you don't need sponsors. You don't need to make something big. It's just something to make people feel good because COVID ain't over quite yet. So
right.
That's my point. So everybody should join. Go to the website, 1millionbubbles.com, which is actually sponsored by Jeff Kelly and his company, and sign up and do something great. And you don't have to do all 1 million bubbles by yourself. You could just do 10 bubbles.
And Ronnie, are you?
And as always, sorry, my dogs were barking. I didn't know what they were barking at. As always, just a reminder that these are these are our our thoughts and I don't know what else. I'm sorry. I got distracted by the dog. I didn't know what
Opinion.
These are our opinions, and that's it. You guys know.
Right.
Yeah. They've
Do as
heard it
we
before.
say,
They've
not
heard
as
it
we
before.
do.
You know.
Yeah,
Blah, blah,
yeah.
blah.
You don't have to do it the way that we do it.
Oh, Stephen
Except for
Jones would
Business
like
Suite.
to.
Facebook is going to make it so that everybody has to use Business Suite. That's not us. That's Facebook.
Right.
And drink Guinness.
Yeah, Stephen Jones would like to correct us. Just a quick correction. It is 1millionbubbles.org.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Every week I make some mistake. I'm sorry.
Yeah, make sure you guys don't go to the
Sorry,
.com. 1millionbubbles.org.
Doesn't it make you curious now what 1billionbubbles.com is?
No.
I'm going
Maybe.
to go to that first.
No, because one time I got curious about a .com instead of a .org, and I regret
don't
it.
do that.
So I'm not curious.
No.
Right. Don't try that at home.
Lessons were learned.
So I would like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. The chat was, again, really active. If you guys watching the replay would like to join us, come on every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 Pacific. Join us in the Working Wonders chat. We'll answer your questions live. Next week, we are going to be discussing our jobs from HE double hockey sticks, where we are going to be telling you some of our favorite horror stories, and we'd love to hear from you guys on that for sure. So we'll
And
see
how
y'all
we
next week.
pivoted to make it all work.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.